If you want to permanently lose weight, we have to get rid of toxic hunger. And that's why diets don't work, because people willy-nilly cut back on calories, and they feel so ill cutting back on calories that they become obsessed with food, and they feel more toxic hunger, and they can't feel that much discomfort. They have to keep eating calories. So people can't lose weight because they're not focusing on the quality of food they're eating and how much green vegetables the human body needs to get rid of toxic hunger. We're a green vegetable dependent animal. And I'm saying, if you don't like green vegetables, then you better live close to a hospital because you're going to need one. So we have to seek volume and nutrients. And volume refers to fiber. We have to seek fiber and nutrients. We want to occupy space in that liter of stomach with foods that are lower in calories and higher in nutrients. And animal protein and sugar and caffeine feed toxic hunger because these are addictive substances. And caffeine, as you know, is a poisonous substance that when you don't eat food, you get a headache for caffeine withdrawal. If it wasn't poisonous, it wouldn't cause a withdrawal headache when you stop drinking it or taking it in. Things that are healthy for us do not cause withdrawal symptoms. Only poisons or toxins cause withdrawal symptoms. And then people are going to eat food to stop the withdrawal from caffeine because we exacerbate detoxification. We enhance detoxification in the not eating state. So the caffeine withdrawal is going to increase in the not eating state, so you're going to feel more headache. And you're going to eat food to help reduce the caffeine withdrawal. So the caffeine not only is preventing you, not enabling you to sleep less, shortening your lifespan that way, but it's causing you to eat more. So in many cases, caffeine contributes to the toxic load in the body, leading to more with hunger, false hunger. And also it lets you feel like you can get by with less sleep, which also shortens your lifespan. So I'm giving the reasons why most people's diets don't work. And here's a study published in 2010 called The Changing Perceptions of Hunger on a High Nutrient Density Diet, studying the effects of this way of eating on about 750 people. And we showed that after 6 months, 90% of those people had a changed perception of hunger, that they initially described their hunger like it's affecting their stomach and their head. And after 6 months, the hunger was more felt in their throat and obviously in their mouth with salivation, increased taste sensation, and upper chest or lower neck sensation of a drawing sensation that's kind of like makes you want to eat. And food tastes better when you eat when you're really hungry. And these people reported not only did their sensation of what they considered hunger change when they ate so healthfully, but their preference for healthy food changed because their taste muscle improved and they became desirous of vegetables and enjoying flavors of natural food more. And their bliss point went down. In other words, they didn't require so much sugar to feel satisfied. They were satisfied with things being a lower level of sugar, like a strawberry isn't sweet enough for most people. But once you're in a blueberry, it's, or they don't taste the sweetness in lettuce, but in other words, the strength of your taste changes over time to get stronger, to like natural foods that aren't heavily seasoned and hyper palatable. And also, you become satisfied with the right amount of calories, with lower amounts of calories. So you're satisfied with the food more, you enjoy the flavor more, and you feel like you're eating enough food when you're actually eating so much less than you used to eat. I always say that humans live on, or Americans live on half of what they eat, and the other half meets the needs of their doctors, right? Half of the calories you eat meet your needs, and the other half meets the needs of your doctors. And it sounds kind of like an exaggeration, like a joke, but it's not really an exaggeration or a joke, because we're healthiest amount of calories for women and males are somewhere between 1,200 and 1,800 calories a day, around 1,400 for a woman, maybe about 1,600 for a male. Or, we're talking, every person's different. I have no specific amount of calories I want people to eat. But I know that Americans are eating about 3,000 to 4,000 calories a day. The average American eats about 3,600 calories a day. That's double what humans even eat, because we can compare that to the amount of calories consumed in rural China, which is about 1,500-1,600 calories a day per capita. And here where per capita calorie consumption is double that. So extra calories are exceedingly dangerous, and extra body fat is exceedingly dangerous. And we can prefer to eat less. We can learn how to prefer to eat less, but it takes time to prefer that. So let's review a little bit what we've been talking about here, because we were talking about the overstimulation of dopamine in the brain, that leads to food cravings. There's no such thing as food cravings in people who don't have the overstimulation or deadening of dopamine. And then cravings means you're not satisfied with normal foods. You can't have a salad, a bowl of vegetable bean soup, and a piece of fruit. You just had a big meal with a lot of fiber and your stomach's filled, but you're not, even though you filled up your stomach and you might even feel full, you're not satisfied. You got to crave something else. You got to have something else. You got to have a piece of cake. You got to have some bread. You got to have some kind of, something fried. You got to have some dessert. You got to have something. It's not satisfied with normal food. And the cravings come from overstimulation of dopamine. And then, so that's why, and when you have that, you're a food addict. And then you have withdrawal symptoms. You have fatigue and headache if you don't eat. And instead of embracing withdrawal symptoms and realizing that's your body healing, you'll either eat food or people want to take a pill. They want to pop a Tylenol or an aspirin. In other words, I'm saying here that the suppression of symptoms with drugs makes you more toxic and can make an occasional headache into a chronic daily headache, or a severe headache syndrome into a migraine syndrome, because you suppress the occasional headache with a detox event with dangerous drugs. Even the use of 1 or 2 Tylenol or Advil a week can create chronic headache, can create a chronic migraine syndrome. And then a person, of course, gets chronic neuroinflammation from the overstimulation of the brain, from the glucose surges and the extra calories, also create chronic brain fog, where they're no longer thinking as clearly, weakened taste buds, and they're emotionally dependent on dangerous food, and they behave and think irrationally and destructive to their own best interests. And they can become destructive to other people too. They don't care about themselves. They don't care about others. They just care about meeting their fix. The more you're an addict, and the more severe you're an addict, the more narcissistic your behavior becomes, and the more self-consumed you becomes, and the outside world doesn't matter to you, and your future health doesn't even matter to yourself. Why do people behave in a self-destructive fashion? Why do they do things they know are damaging to their health? It's because the primitive brain has a desire. It creates that removal of dopamine and this toxic stimulation of the body. This years of developing this toxic body makes you feel too agitated and anxious when you try not to imbibe in addictive substances. But I'm encouraging you to strive for enforced abstinence, not to baby step your way into healthy eating, to jump with both feet into a super healthy diet and go through that withdrawal. It only takes 3 or 4 days to get back in touch, to feel good immediately. Because the first phase of detoxification, where you're feeling this hands fatigued and headaches and agitation, it goes away. If you keep dabbling in healthy eating, you keep yourself feeling sick all the time, and you never really get to how good you're going to feel from eating healthfully. My years and decades of treating so many thousands of people, having more than 10,000 charts on people, have shown me that the people that have sustained 100-pound weight losses and kept it off for a decade or more, all these people who've lost lots of weight and kept it off successfully, were people who embraced this healthy way of eating in a more complete form. They didn't dabble in it or do it 90% or 80%. Those people doing it 90% or 80% often fail and go back to unhealthy eating again. Or they're still keeping that foot connected with unhealthy substances, which never really lets their taste fully adapt to enjoying this as much. And they still, in the dabbling in those unhealthy substances, keeps that flame alive, keeps that addictive fire lit, always wanting those things.